Gears of War. I believe it's the first game. They're calling it Gears of War Reloaded. So it's meant to be a remaster slash remake. I'm not sure on the remake part. Definitely a remaster of the first Gears of War game that's coming to, I believe, the latest Xbox consoles, but also PlayStation 5 and PC too. So it's been rumored for the longest time, but Xbox has finally, or has today announced Gears of War Reloaded, a remaster of the original game that is coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 on August 26th, marking the first time that that Gears is on a PlayStation console, which is pretty crazy. So the really cool thing about this is back in the day, back in when let's see, when kids were growing up around the time that PlayStation 3 was around and also PS2, you like if you're growing up today, you wouldn't have known this, but there was a console war. Today, it's not as relevant. There's not really a console war at the moment. But back in the day, back in PS2, PS3 days, there was definitely a console war. It was Xbox versus PlayStation. Those were the two big players. Nintendo has always kind of been on their own, doing their own thing, always doing great at it, which is awesome. But the two main players in the console war was Xbox, Microsoft, and Sony PlayStation. So back in those days, you had to if you were a kid, you pretty much just picked one console. Like I only really got to have one console, so my choice was a PlayStation. So I never got to really get into Halo or Gears of War. They've always seemed really cool from afar, but unfortunately, just never been able to get into it. So this seems to be kind of a comparison of how it looks or how it used to look in the original. So if I can kind of zoom in here, can I go across? I can. So up here in the top right corner, we have the original Gears of War running at 30 FPS. Is it 1280 by 720? That's a YouTube thumbnail. What do you call it? Resolution, if you didn't know. So that's pretty funny. That's what the game used to run at. I believe this is some sort of remastered down here, which ran at 1920 by 1080, 30 FPS still. But now we have Reloaded running at 3840 by 2160 at 60 FPS. So that is actually 4K. That's 4K resolution. That's pretty cool. That is an awesome remaster and running at 60 FPS. I think that's pretty much the bare minimum these days if you really want to be making a serious game for the latest generation of consoles and also PC. 60 seems to be the default. So let's keep reading here as well. Gears of War Reloaded includes all of the content from the Ultimate Edition. I believe that should be what this one is, I guess. Including all DLC, multiplayer modes, and more. On that, just on that, I want to remind people, Zelda Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch 2. So they're obviously putting out a version of the game that's going to be upscaled for the Nintendo Switch 2. That version of the game is not coming with the DLC that Breath of the Wild kind of got throughout its life cycle, which is pretty cool. Sorry, no, not pretty cool. It's pretty cool that they did DLC for Breath of the Wild. It is so not cool that they are not including that with the base game for Nintendo Switch, because it's literally just an upscale version. They're releasing the game again without DLC. So literally every time a studio releases a game that's either a remaster or whatever it is, or like a director's cut or an ultimate edition or whatever, they always provide the DLC that would have come out with the game throughout its life cycle. And they are just not doing that with Breath of the Wild, which is really weird, but kind of sucks. So really cool to see it here with Gears of War, especially because it's such an old game too. This would be an awesome thing for new players to kind of get into that have never played Gears of War like myself. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think the franchise has always looked really cool. I know the trailer for E-Day came out, I think last year or a little while ago. So that looks awesome. It's like what do you call it? Like an origin almost, like a prequel to the whole series. So that looks really awesome. I don't think that'll be coming to PlayStation. Maybe if it does, like, I mean, they're doing this, so like maybe they bring it to PlayStation. That'd be awesome. But regardless, really important that if you're doing a remaster or an Ultimate Edition or a Director's Cut, pretty much the bare minimum, the rule is you have to include all the DLC. Otherwise, what the fuck's the point? Uh, anyway, continuing on. The game runs at 4K 60 FPS in campaign mode and 120 FPS in multiplayer and supports HDR, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, VIR, and has also been updated with improved visual effects, improved shadows and reflections, and zero loading screens during the campaign. That's all pretty cool, and that is also pretty much the standard, I would say, also for today's sort of gaming landscape and AAA games especially. You wouldn't really see loading screens. Like, that was a massive selling point of the PS5. The whole, you're not going to see loading screens anymore because we're using like SSDs now. It's bare minimum today, but like for people that were a fan of Gears of War back in the day, to have stuff like that come out for a reloaded edition, it's pretty exciting. Anyway, I think the last little bit down here just finishes off and says, for those that own the Ultimate Edition on Xbox, you'll be able to get Gears of War Reloaded for free with a code being DM'd to you on your Xbox account, and obviously the game will be on Xbox Game Pass as well. That is such a fucking massive W. That is huge for anyone that plays on Xbox, especially getting a free copy of a game that you... It's like, it's so weird. It's not technically a game you already own because it's a remaster. They're upscaling it. You're getting all the DLC. If you don't have that stuff, you're getting it here for free. Like, that's sick. That's so elite. This is such a massive fucking W for Microsoft. They've been taking some dubs recently. They bought Bethesda, I believe. So obviously they made a bunch of what do you call it? Exclusive Doom the Dark Ages things for Xbox. Like, the controller looks sick. They also gave the actual console like a wraparound, like a skin, which also looks pretty awesome. So I think they're taking a few W's here recently. But Xbox Game Pass as well is such an elite service by them, and really awesome to see you get such cool games on there for free pretty much day one. So massive W for them. And I just kind of want to finish, I guess, this off with mentioning 2025 has been such a crazy year for gaming, but like, we're getting news like this. We got a fucking shadow drop for Oblivion, all while Grand Theft Auto got delayed. So like, this was the tentpole massive release of 2025, but it got delayed, and I feel like 2025 didn't really lose anything. I don't think we lost by having Grand Theft Auto 6 delayed at all. I actually think it's a really good thing. Obviously, they want to polish and finish up the game before launch. They want to make sure there aren't any issues. I believe a lot of people, like, this is old news. This was fucking 4 days ago now. I actually remember before going to bed, just scrolling on Reddit, and it popped up. And it popped up like someone just said it. They didn't really link the article or whatever, the post that Take-Two or Rockstar or whatever shared. So I was like, I kind of believe you, but there's no way. And then I saw it was real, and my reaction wasn't even that big. I was like, okay, fine. I mean, fair, whatever. So a lot of people have kind of said already that they have done this with Red Dead Redemption 2 in the past. So Red Dead 2 got delayed twice. It was meant to come out in 2017, I think late 2017. And then they delayed it to early 2018, and then it got delayed again, I believe, to late 2018, which is totally fine because that game still gets talked about to this day for how would you say it? How like fucking beyond its time it was. Like, it's still today, like, I swear you don't get games like Red Dead Redemption 2 today still. It's because of how much work was put into it. It's not just because, like, it's not because people can't make games like Red Dead Redemption or whatever, or like there aren't games that are as good, if not better than Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just the fact that they put so much work into it, and it's such a beautiful game. It is amazing. So yeah, GTA 6 got delayed till 2026, but I still think 2025 is such a huge year for gaming, and we lost nothing from it. We actually won from GTA 6 getting delayed because it's just going to have more work put into it, and it's going to release it in better state, and that is going to be better for everyone. It's going to be better for Take-Two, it's going to be better for Rockstar, it's going to be better for the fans and the gamers that are going to play it. So yeah, man, 2025, we've been taking nothing but fucking wins with the gaming industry, which is great.